AJ is starting off this hour in Cincinnati. Hey, AJ, what's up?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
I just have a question for you. My situation is a little rough, so I apologize for starting out your show on a horrible note. But my husband decided to walk out on our marriage. We've been married for 8 years, and this was at Christmas time this past year. And this was all while I was 9 months pregnant with our third baby.
Wow.
He is still contributing financially to our bank account. However, he's basically moved out with his sister. Basically, as soon as I got home from the hospital, he was gone. And he is at the point where he's pushing me to divorce. And pretty much quickly, he wants to get his own place. And so he wants to sell our house super quick. And I'm kind of coming to grips with the fact that, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I'm kind of understanding now I'm at the point where I'm going to have to become a full-time worker in my future. Mm-hmm. I'm a believer in Christ, so I know that he holds my future, mm-hmm. But I'm scared at the same time. And, if I'm your daughter in this situation, what do I need to do for my financial future?
Mm. I'm so sorry. That is scary. It's very scary.
Yeah.
So what in the world has he just, gone off the ranch? That's just wild.
Yeah, he doesn't really tell, I'm assuming it's because there's another person, but he won't admit that ever. Mm-hmm. And I've also recently found out that, he's gotten himself into a $30,000 gambling debt that occurred 2 years ago when I thought we had been tithing to our church. Come to find out we weren't. And he had been paying about $500 something a month just to pay that debt. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of
so the debt is that debt in his name only?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And what does he earn a year?
He just got a new job where he's making $105,000. Okay. All right. And I work part-time from home. I make $6,000.
Okay.
So
let's first establish that it's a normal human in your situation would be afraid, and right after that you would be angry.
Correct.
Okay. And then and then while you're doing all of that, you also have to stop and set those two things aside for purposes of negotiating with him, because he's a world-class liar and manipulator, because he's a gambling addict. And so I know that. I know that he's an addict because of the amount of debt and the fact that he was hiding all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, 100% of addicts, and addicts will all shake their head with me, are manipulators and liars. It goes with the disease. Okay. Yeah. So you got to understand that's what you're dealing with. And so a friend of mine that does divorce recovery says divorce turns a marriage into a business transaction. And so you are in a business partnership with a person who manipulates, lies, and is addicted to gambling. Mm-hmm. You will not let him, listen to me carefully, you will not let him set the terms of this divorce.
Yeah.
He is not in control of this. You are.
Right.
You're going to take everything for those kids.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. And I think because he makes the bulk of the income, he thinks that he can control it.
No, it's the opposite. You're about to control the bulk of his income. It's called child support for 3 kids. One that was just born. The judge is going to knock the mathematics into next week. He is not going to like this process. Yeah. I'm telling you. Can you imagine going before the judge with a newborn?
Right.
And this guy's a gambling addict. Can you imagine how bad the judge is going to beat the snot out of him? Okay, so you totally are in a position of power here. While you're afraid, while you're angry, you set those two things aside. From a negotiator's perspective, you hold all the cards. He's got none, no pun intended. Mm-hmm. Okay, you really got to hear that loud and clear, because child support for these 3 kids on $100 and something thousand a year, it needs to be sub-freaking-stantial.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Okay. Now, what do you guys owe on this home?
We're currently owe about $115,000. We just moved in about a year ago.
What is the home worth?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I tried to get it out.
Is it worth $500 or $200?
I would say probably $200.
Okay. You got a little equity then, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, he knows a lot more of that than I do. So.
Well, is there anything in his 401k?
Like $1,500, not much at all. Like we have barely anything in savings. So.
Okay. Do you have any other debts? Car?
I have my car, and he has his car.
Debt?
That I leased my car. Okay. So, and that's it. I have
is
about
that
$10,000 on my car.
exclusively in your name?
No, it's in his name.
Good. Is the other car exclusively in his name?
Yeah, he just bought it like a week ago.
Good.
So he's making lots of good decisions.
Good. So the judge is about to give him 2 leased cars, and you're going to get you a beater.
Okay.
That you pay cash for. You don't need a car payment.
Right.
So you got a big pile of child support, no car payment, and no debt, except maybe you keep this house. That's a decision we'll think of later, okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Kind of hearing how this is going? Now,
yeah,
what are you going to do? What do you
do.
think you're going to do for a living?
That's another thing. I have an associate's degree, so
in what?
That was another in office administration.
How long has it been since you've worked?
I work from home still with the same job, but full time it's been about 4 years.
What did you make last time you worked full time?
Like $30,000.
Okay, so here's the last piece of the equation then. Okay, yes, you're going back to work. Yes, you're going to have a big pile of child support. No, you're not going to have any car payments. You're not going to let him hand you that car. He gets these cars. They're in his name. They're his problem.
Okay.
And this is your negotiation, and you're in control. Believe me. You're going to get what you want in this negotiation if you will stand strong, because you have the story to tell, and he, by the very nature of this story, becomes the bad guy. I'm not trying to beat him up. I'm trying to protect your kids.
Yeah.
And I got a $30,000 a year single mom with 3 kids on the line. That's all I'm concerned about. His welfare is not on my list of things to worry about right now. Okay?
Right.
And yours either.
Okay.
Yours either.
Right.
Yours either. You didn't take him to raise. You took them other 3 to raise, but you didn't take this one to raise.
Okay, well, thank you, sir.
And listen, I want you to go through Financial Peace University as our gift. We're going to put you in the class and the 1-year membership, so you've got access to all the videos. And I think you're going to get a job making $45,000, and I think you're going to get a pile of child support, and you're probably going to be able to afford to stay in the house. That's questionable right now, but don't keep the house if you can't afford it, okay? Sell it and go rent something cheap. And don't let this redefine your whole life. This is just the beginning of the next chapter of your life, kiddo. I'm sorry. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.